I get asked a lot about power work, how to get explosive, how to program power into your training. It's not always one simple answer. So if I was to start, I bang on enough about, increasing power with percentages of your bench pressing and all that kind of stuff. But I guess what I really haven't explained a lot of is how I program it. Now, there are a few ways to program your power into your training. Now, the first thing you can look at is blocks. So, say if you're just coming off a 4-week strength block, we know that it takes about 3 to 4 weeks before you to start declining in strength if you're not training for strength. Okay, so that's your heavy stuff. All right, you can have at least 3 weeks off without doing some kind of heavy work, and you shouldn't lose too much strength when you go back to it. So, if we know that, we can sort of structure in our power training. So say for instance, we've done a 4-week strength block, and now for the next 3 weeks, or let's say 2 weeks, this is how I would normally do it. So how I would do it would be a 2-week explosive power block, where for the next 2 weeks, all our main lifts, instead of being heavy for strength, we will do our main lifts powerful, fast, okay, anywhere from 50 to 70% of our 1 rep max. So that is one way, and then we could go back to either a strength block or a bodybuilding block, but that's depends on what type of season it is. But we'd more than likely go back to a strength block, so no, our strength isn't going anywhere. And you could just easily wave and fluctuate the cycles that way, and it works quite fine. Another way that you could train for your power and program your power work is to just do it all the time. So if that is the case, which I have done, which pretty much how I do the entire in-season, at the start I will do some kind of fast plyometric exercise to excite the central nervous system, warm everything up, and then we will go into an explosive bench press, and that could either be followed by another plyometric exercise, so our contrast training sets, or I'll just do an explosive bench press and rest and then go again. Now, it's important that you do your explosive work at the start, because we don't want to be fatigued. Okay, so if you did 5 sets of 12 bench presses and then you tried to do explosive stuff, you'd be fatigued and fried. So that bar isn't going to be moving very fast at all. So it's important, just like our sprint work, you cannot create power in the presence of fatigue. Okay, so same goes for our explosive training. So I will always structure those explosive things at the start. Then after your explosive lift, you could do a heavy lift. You could do your strength work, and then you could do your assistant and accessory work after it if you wanted to. That would work 100% fine. Another way you could do it is you could have your max effort days, which is, say Monday is heavy upper body with accessory work and assistance work. And then Tuesday could be your max effort lower body day. Wednesday you have off. Thursday could be your dynamic effort upper body day. So your upper body again, but instead of doing your heavy stuff at the start, you would do your explosive stuff at the start. And then Friday you would do your dynamic lower body day. So that could work quite well, and that is something that you could do all year round without a problem. So there aren't, there's not just one way of doing things. There's a lot of ways you can incorporate power into your training. The way I do things is I will do things in blocks. So I will do, a 4-week block of strength, and I will do a 2-week block of explosive work, and that's how I've found that to work really, really well for me and the guys that I train. So hope that helps. Just remember also that plyometric exercises I treat as accessory work to the main explosive lift. So the main explosive lift for me would be an explosive bench press, a jammer, a ground jammer. If your gym is lucky to have one of those, you've probably seen that on the video where my guys sit down and then explode up and extend their arms up in the air. That's fantastic. A really heavy med ball could be suitable. There's a million different ways, banded bench presses and all that kind of stuff. But I do treat banded bench presses and med ball throws and all that kind of stuff as accessory assistant exercises to the main explosive lift. So the main explosive lift will always be a bench press, or an explosive barbell squat, or a fast deadlift, or sled for that matter. I do a lot of max effort and explosive stuff with sled work as well, as you probably well know. Anyway, guys, hope that helps.